Hi loves, let's talk about why I fell out of love with certain brands that I used to adore and why I almost stopped buying from them. And we will also hear about one brand which might actually be making its way back to my heart and to the world of colorful makeup. I am really intrigued if they will be making a comeback in 2023 or if they will kind of ditch that progress and go back to why I fell out of love with them. So, the first brand out of these is Urban Decay. I think it comes as no surprise to anyone that Urban Decay used to make super colorful makeup. Their electric palette that I still have, as you can see, was iconic. And by the way, it became a little squeaky, but it didn't really even go bad. I kind of still use it. Like, I wouldn't use it on other people, but on myself, I feel like I can't risk my own skin if I want to. And the expiration date, well, it's kind of a period to which the brand guarantees that the product is good. After that, you know, at your own risk. But we're not here to talk about the electric palette. We're here to talk about what they did next and what they did in the latest years. Like, I used to be so excited about every Urban Decay release, like when we glance in the past. They were always making like some colorful palettes. They were coming up with new colorful eye pencils. They were making funky lipsticks. They were making some innovative products. And I used to look up to them and be excited about almost every release. And from almost every release, I wanted to get at least something. Like, I might not have wanted the whole release, but I was super hyped and I was eyeing them and I was constantly monitoring their releases. Now I hardly even look there because what they did in the last years was just making the boring nude makeup. I'm not saying nobody needs new makeup, but that's not what they were about. They were about colorful makeup. They were about funky makeup. They were about grungy makeup, maybe. They were about some new and interesting and exciting color combos, and that's, I feel, what people came there for. But apparently that's not what they think. I don't know how that, you know, influenced their business or anything. Maybe that was a good business decision after all. But what they're making now is like a tone of naked palettes. You probably haven't seen those around. I was even interested in one, the Naked Ultraviolet palette, and I was like, okay, it's named Naked for some reason, but it kind of has more purple in there than nudes. And well, a couple of nudes I can deal with. At the time I had a little bit less palettes and I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I will need some nudes every once in a while that I can use on clients or on somebody who wants nude makeup. And the violet colors there in the pan really seemed beautiful. After that, I saw some reviews of this Naked Ultraviolet palette and apparently the pigmentation was not there. It just wasn't there. Let me tell you, in this electric palette, in some singles I have, the pigmentation is great. It's absolutely amazing. The singles I have are also old, by the way. I don't know their current range of single eyeshadows. The colors that were in the pan were very different from what people got in their eyes and different people, so that wasn't a matter of poor application, for example, or anything like that. I was so disappointed. And then they also came out with a revamp of this iconic, absolutely amazing, let me show you once more, electric palette. They revamped it. And they launched a new one, which apparently was supposed to be similar, and they even repeated some of the shade names. And the reviewers who got it, like, I couldn't get my hands on it right away. I was seriously contemplating that. But the reviewers who got it said that the quality, like, was not even similar to the old palette. Like, it was so much worse. And most people also complained about the pigmentation part, so from that collection, I got some eye pencils. They also launched some neon eye pencils, and that's actually the only product that I'm still getting from them, these 24/7 Glide-On eye pencils, because some of the colors are rather unique and hard to dupe, so I'm still getting those from time to time when I run out of them, because they're good. Like, they're not the best pencils in the world, but they're good in terms of staying power and really good in terms of pigmentation, so I sometimes get them, but that's the only thing. They also discontinued all funky colors of the lipsticks. It seems they are all about the news right now, and even for that, the quality just isn't there. So, sorry, Urban Decay. If you plan on doing what you did before, then I will gladly look into you, but for now, no. The second brand that I fell out of love with and stopped buying from was KVD Beauty, and let me tell you, this goes a little bit deeper than just the products. So if you don't know the KVD Beauty brand and the KVD Beauty drama, oh my goodness. You are missing out on some serious, like, Santa Barbara thing. It was owned at first by Kat Von D, who was a famous tattoo artist, and she had a lot of fans and followers, and so she launched her own makeup brand, which was kind of logic, you know, tattoos, beauty, makeup, kind of a similar niche, like not the same obviously, but her makeup brand started as offering edgy and funky colors, and they were offering lipsticks like this one. Let's just show you quickly. Yes, that's an oldie that I still have. And they had their iconic tattoo liner. Yes, I keep my makeup in the boxes. Yes, I do that. Not all of it, but sometimes I do. And they were making really interesting products. Like, they were the first to launch this Alchemist palette. Yes, I still have this one too. And it was like an eyeshadow and a highlighter palette, and it was the first one that was used to go as eyeshadow or lip topper. So the colors that here are very light, but if you put them on some kind of base, especially a dark one, they actually transform that base color a lot. I made a review about that. Anyway, the products were really nice, and everybody was so hyped about this brand because it was from Kat Von D, and the products were good and the quality was good. And then there was the scandal with Kat Von D. Just Google it if you don't know it, but basically she said something along the lines that she's not going to vaccinate her child, and people started to cancel her. Now, I'm personally very much against cancel culture. I might make a video about that. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on this. I think it's really dangerous. Also, I think there is so much more to the brand than one person, but anyway, people started to cancel her. That started to influence her brand, obviously, and she made a decision, probably a good business decision, to just sell the brand. She sold it completely, so she was not the owner anymore, she was not the co-owner, she was not a shareholder, she was not working there, like she had zero to do with it. She got her money and she just went out of there. And the thing is that the new owners, they kept the KVD letters, which were the logo of the brand. So, like, it used to say Kat Von D, like, as the logo. Yeah, I think you can see that. But it also had this KVD logo, and that was really recognizable because, you know, the font is unusual. And they decided to keep the letters KVD so that people could recognize the brand in stores, so as not to lose customers. And they just named it KVD Vegan Beauty. Because of that, some people who knew about the scandal, they thought that Kat Von D had still had something to do with it. Sorry. And like, it was all so confusing, and everybody was like, okay, if Kat Von D's not here, then what do the letters KVD mean? And then in 2021, you know, instead of doing something nice, instead of changing the brand name maybe, or giving some nice meaning to these letters, they basically made a fake Latin meaning of these letters. I had a whole video about that because I was so mad. That's one of the main reasons I stopped buying, like, right at that point. As I have said, once again, I'm against cancel culture. So it wasn't that, you know, something one person did and I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy from this brand. But it was that the brand was lying to the customers. And I feel like that when a brand is deceiving the customer, you just don't know what else they are deceiving you about. It's not that they did something questionable, something unrelated to the makeup products, but it's exactly their relationship with the customers. And so I was very mad, and I once again decided that I will not cancel them. Like, if I really like a product, I will still buy. But the thing is that they also, since Kat Von D left, they haven't made a single interesting product. So she was obviously the creative mind for this brand, and she was launching these things like the Alchemist palette before everyone did the transformative eyeshadows. Like, nowadays everybody's making those, but back then it was the first thing. It was very innovative. She made this tattoo liner, she made these funky lipsticks, which were practically all discontinued. Now they also launched a new lipstick formula, even though this old formula was loved by many. Even in neutral, you know, colors, people just said that the formula was great. And now they renewed the formula. One of my friends tried it and said it was not near the old one, so it's not really clear why they reformulated that, if that was good. And also, obviously, there are just nudes and pinks, and there was like one blue color, one black, and one purple, and that's it. So there is nothing even to look out there for. They've recently launched a new palette. Well, the palette is okay, but nothing much. They did make some eye pencils recently, which I was kind of, that might be interesting, but once again, nothing too unusual there. no eye pencil colors that I cannot find in other brands, so that I would risk, you know, buying from a brand which is deceiving the customers. I just don't know, you know, what if they steal my bank card data? Like, what else would they do? So that's one of the reasons, and that's the main reason that I stopped buying from them, but also the fact that there were no interesting products ever since Kat Von D left. Now, another brand that I kind of stopped buying from, I still buy some of their basic products, but not the interesting products anymore, or at least not often, is surprisingly MAC. Now, I'm still buying some MAC basic products like the Eye Primer right here, or the foundation, which I'm actually wearing right now. It's the Prolong Wear foundation. I am putting the name of the shade in the screen because this one erased from here. I'm just afraid to make a mistake. I think it's NC37, but I'm not sure, just for reference, you know, because that really works great on oily skin, and that primer really makes eyeshadows last. So the quality of MAC is still great in my opinion. However, I used to be also very hyped about their new releases, like it was with Urban Decay, because they were always collaborating, like not always, but a lot of times they were collaborating with different artists, bloggers, and they were making super interesting collections, and there were unusual colors there. And once again, from like, well, maybe if not every, but at least every second release, I wanted something, and I wanted it badly, and I was ready to spend my money on it. But nowadays, the colors are just all very basic. I mean, the quality is still there, the pigmentation, the long wearness is still there, but the colors are just usually are not. Like, if we look at the holiday release for this year, it's mostly, you know, nude colored eyeshadows, like something a little bit pink, something a little bit gold, like something very, very natural, and I just don't know who is hyped about that. So I feel like people who are buying limited edition collections are usually makeup junkies and makeup fans like me, and usually even if those people love doing neutral makeup sometimes, I feel like they already have a lot of neutrals there, maybe going for something more interesting, some interesting color combo in a palette, you know, something unusual. So unless neutral and nude and natural makeup is all you ever wear, I feel like you won't be too interested in those limited edition collections. So before, there was a wider variety of colors. There were some nudes too, but there were also colorful things. And nowadays, like hardly anything. The one thing I'm still also buying from them is their Prolong Wear eye pencil. This is the best wearing eye pencil on super oily lids like mine. The last palette that I bought from them was the Pretty Punk one, and it's really pretty. I'm not sure about punk. I think it's really good. And ever since, like very neutral, very muted colors, not exactly the thing for me. Let me know if it's the thing for you. I'm just curious to know how many people are still sticking with it. But I here love colorful makeup, you know that very well, and I assume that you do too. That's why you're on my channel. Another brand that I kind of fell out of love with, but it might be making its way back, let me tell you the whole story, is Lime Crime. The thing with Lime Crime is that they used to make very edgy, very funky, very unusual colors, especially in lipsticks. Like their Velveteens were iconic, and they made the colors that hardly anybody else had at that time, especially in liquid lipsticks. Then they were also known for their diamond crushes, which are lip toppers, and I have videos on those too that you can put on top of any lipstick. It kind of seals the lipstick and also gives you that super sparkly glow. They made the Diamond Dew, which were eyeshadow toppers. Let me show you everything. And like this goes on top of your eyeshadow. You can also wear it by itself, obviously, and gives you that sparkle, that glow. So they were making products for color lovers. That was their target audience. At that time, they were owned by Doe Deer, and I feel like she was also the creative mind in the brand behind that, and she was launching all these colors. They also had some bullet lipsticks. So this was a brand that you could rely on for some interesting color. And they also did make good quality eyeshadows. And then Doe Deer left. They kind of started making, you know, all things also closer to nude, like sheer eyeshadows that intentionally like had very little pigmentation so that you could blend them out easy. I don't recall a single person like actually loving those. They removed all their funky lipsticks from the collection, and they left just, you know, berries, reds, nudes, so some more popular colors. They they basically discontinued all the fun stuff. They discontinued the diamond crushes. Like, this was my favorite product ever. I still have them, but they're drying out, and they are so amazing, and they were so amazing, and they were really very unique to Lime Crime. They were actually done first by Lime Crime, and then other brands like Urban Decay started doing their glitter lip toppers, because that became a thing. That became very popular, and that was like such a success, in my opinion, that discontinuing them was, I don't know how this could have been a good business decision. Since then, they launched one interesting product, in my opinion, and this is hair dye. I have not tried it, so I cannot comment on the quality, though I have heard some good reviews about it, so I assume the quality is there. I was like also not looking at the Lime Crime releases anymore, because I usually buy Crazy Color or Anthracene and hair dye, so I'm not really interested in that, and the makeup just wasn't there for me. However, this year, that's what's interesting, they seem to have kind of eased their way back into color. So first of all, I think that was last year, they are launching some colorful liquid eyeliners. Not a huge range of colors, but you know, some interesting ones are still there, like a lilac. Then they also launched an eyeshadow in stick, which was also in different colorful shades. And right now they also launched a collaboration with the Sonic movie. They launched 3 eyeliners, a bright blue, a bright yellow, and I think a dark purple. They are launching some funky stuff again. They're launching some colorful stuff again. But what I was really pleasantly surprised by is they brought back some of the velveteens that were very popular and that were mostly of interesting colors. However, they brought them back in a set of 5 velveteens, so I didn't get that because I wasn't interested in all the colors. However, that's a good sign. That means that they're listening to the audience and to all the people who are shouting like, Lime Crime, you started out and you attracted the audience that loves unusual colors, so why are you pushing them away right now? Have us back, give us back these velveteens. And they launched a set of 5 velveteens of really nice colors, like there's a gray, there's an indigo blue, there's an orange. These were really, you know, very popular back in the day. And also their holiday collection is something I was very intrigued by, because first of all, there is a palette which is not nude, which does not have any browns, you know, beiges, brick reds, and there is also that diamond dust thing that they launched. So it's also like a topper, a dual-ended topper. On one side you can have a mascara topper, and on the other side you can have an eyeliner topper, and that is like super sparkly and is sort of reminding me of their Diamond Dew and Diamond Crushes, so a product that was iconic to them, that was unique to them, and that really hyped them up. If they're going back that way, that would be so cool. And even the lipsticks that they had in their holiday Christmas collection did not make me mad, so these weren't just reds and nudes, but they really made them more interesting. They gave dark reds and like a gray grayish color, so you can, I guess, treat it as nude to an extent, but also you can treat it as gray. So this was a creative way of creating reds and nudes for the Christmas party, like for the Christmas hype. And I don't know, are they making a comeback? If they go on this way, if they continue launching color again, I might actually look into them again, because they did have some great, colorful, interesting products of really good quality. Like I wasn't always completely satisfied with the quality, but that was more a personal preference kind of thing. So for example, velveteens felt a little bit drying on me, but then again, almost all liquid lipsticks feel drying on me, with quite rare exceptions. And I feel like a lot of people absolutely loved that formula because it was really transfer proof, and I mean, it still is. It's just I don't like the colors that they have now. I feel like they could be back with a blast, you know, if they go the right way now, if they choose the right path, and I hope they do, because I feel like there was a great brand and they might become really awesome again. If you want to know more about the brands that I really love and about the brands that I dislike and about how some products work and how some products don't work, then check out this reviews playlist and I will see you there. Bye!